since she was a baby. I haven't seen her in a while, but I was like, okay, oh my God. I was like, Adri, and I couldn't hear what the girl was saying. She tried to say her name or whatever, but and I was like, Adri? He said, yes, I have her, and she came across me, my business partners, and she was on her phone. I thought she was trying to call the police, so she's here in my truck. If you want to see her again, you need to meet me. I was like, what the is going on here? Scared the shit
Where
out
this
of me.
happening?
I was at home. I don't know where all this was happening, but I got a call from a 513 number, and I answered it. And then my boyfriend, I had to scream for him, like tell him what was going on. He called the police and told them what was going on. And then as soon as he heard him in the background for a second, he said, "Who was that?" I said, "My son." He said, "No, it wasn't." He said, "I told you, no police. You fucked up." And he hung up the phone. And then the police rolled up, and I had to tell him like, then I called tried to call her mother, but I don't have her number. Tried to call my ex-mother-in-law. She's like, "Well, I'm not going to give you the phone number, but I'll call." What the hell? This is serious. Give me the damn phone number. But anyways, she called her and she said, "Well, Adri's with Gina. It's just her mom." So, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like I was freaking out. It's like, okay, so this is like a hoax. So when the cops got there, I told them everything that just happened. They said, "This is the fourth call this week." Like people need to be careful. Like,
no, it's really happening out here. Children, women, and little young girls are out here getting snatched up and they get ditched. So this is very important. Like that's why we always have to tell somebody where our location is, no matter what, especially if you're by yourself. You know, especially catching these buses. Like I just seen some weird men just like come up to me and say some weird stuff, and it's just like I imagine what you would do to a young lady just by being, and sometimes it could be a mental state of mind, but it could be some pedophiles that's still out here that's not locked up where they supposed to be either. So
it didn't help that we watched that American Nightmare or whatever on this Netflix last night.
We need to vote on that. We need to vote that pedophiles, women and men, they need to be locked up. That's just like murder. Like you're taking somebody's
life for a long time.
Yes, you're taking a young person's life and they even asked for it. Not even a young person, like one of us. You know what I mean? And not even like let's say group homes.
To be fair, I've been fat most of my life. I was not kidnappable, but until now.
Well, no,
now I'm light
enough
to be kidnappable. You don't have to be
beautiful for somebody to kidnap you.
I was 350 pounds. Ain't nobody could pick me up.
And that's the main reason they'll take an unsecured person before they would a beautiful person too.
Absolutely, because they're more easily manipulated because of the self insecurity issues.
And we need to always have something on us at all times. Like,
speaking of which, I gotta go get my gun for the Coleraine police.
For real, no, for real. And me and Ace, we was just talking about how we raising our kids, these days too, And when you're not raising your children the way you're trying to go back to your days, that get very confusing to the ones that really was raised right. So we need to start respecting our elders.
Yes,
definitely.
I just
and sometimes elders can be wrong too at the same time, but we still have to have that respect to like walk away and not say anything disrespectful just because you feel like you can, but you cannot.
Yes.
I'm
so tired of these teenagers like, well, I'm not going to give respect till I get respect. You are a child. You need to learn to give respect first. Right. Like they don't have a right to be rude to you, but you have to give respect no matter what to people who are older than you. You have to give them respect. Don't just assume that you deserve it. They don't know you.
And they probably don't know no different either because they some elders they go back to their childhood, but they mean well though. Especially if we're raised like we supposed to these days, and we don't. Some of these women ain't raising their children right, and not even we was talking about that because men ain't in a home, but that doesn't matter. If a man is not in a home, you still should be able to raise your children correctly and not go down to be their age and be their friends and have parties with them. Like, no, it's sending them the wrong message. Really, it is. And now that we out here dressing the way we're dressing, talking the way we're talking, doing other things we're doing, even though we don't want our kids to do it. I mean, it does matter because our young girls are seeing that. And
well, you have to have respect for yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying you can't dress sexy and be sexy. No one has a right to touch you. But you have to not give people the wrong idea, because then they'll take you.
But still, you still have to have some kind of respect for that other person, because that's the way they are. And sometimes I dress provocative. So,
oh, girl, I walk around
so
naked.
that don't mean like I'm gonna go out here and just put it in somebody's face. It's already there. No, I'm just playing. But it's just the way we carry ourselves too, as we want to be sexy or casual or tomboyish, sporty or hip, So, it's just the way you present it, and it's not for children to look at, but they're going to sneak and look at it, definitely. Especially if they have a phone. These days, all children have phones. I don't care if you're 1 year old, you got a phone in your hand, a tablet or something, but Ace, I wanted to hear that story again, what you just told me, because that's something, something that we're talking about that you had mentioned to me earlier.
No problem. I got you. So I was on the bus coming into the studio today, and when I got on the bus, there was these two people going back and forth. I come to find out it was a minor teenage little girl and a grown man. Now, by the time I got on the bus, they basically, playing the dozens, capping on one another, because they're actually upset with one another because the teenage girl didn't want the man sitting next to her. And when I got on, there were a handful of open seats. So I can't say that she was in the wrong for wanting him to go somewhere else, but I can't say that he was in the wrong because, hey, it's a bus. You don't get to decide where people sit.
Right.
So eventually, the bus driver does step in and ask the man if he would switch seats. He said no.
Ooh.
So she asked the girl if she would switch seats. She said sure, but I can't get out because he was on the aisle seat. He said, I'll get up so she can move. He got up so she could move. She got up and sat where he was sitting.
Right. Being smart.
So he sat on her. And that's when the whole kerfuffle started. Eventually, she slid from up under room, stood up on the seat that was closest to the window, and started swinging on the man.
Wow. See, now that's really disrespectful, and that's not what we want.
Somebody doing too much.
Yeah, and I mean, she shouldn't have been like sassy.
They're both in the wrong here.
Well, she really should have sat down in his seat, because he got up for her to move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with that being said, if he was like didn't know no better, he probably would have just snatched her up, and then he really would have been wrong just because he put his hands on her.
Girl. Yeah, absolutely.
And she shouldn't have did what she did anyway, because I mean, why would you? That's just making you just irritating the situation. Definitely, you are.
Yeah,
you're irritating.
You're poking the bear.
Yeah, and you we can't do that. I mean, it's just, like it's an old man. Like
I wouldn't say he was old. I'd say maybe early 40s.
Okay, well,
late 40s.
And how old was she?
High school.
See, yeah, that's too young for him to mess with her.
So you got.
If she asked him to move, he should have had respect. Like maybe she feels uncomfortable. You don't know why she doesn't want to be next to you. You don't know what this girl's been through in her life.
Right.
So like, there's a lot of reasons. Like he should have been like, yes, I'll go ahead and move. Unless he had a valid reason, like, oh, I really am, something. But I think he should have moved if she asked him to.
Yeah, and she should have been respectful to get up. And
when she would, yes, absolutely.
And not irritate the situation. She could have left it alone and wouldn't have had to get that further. Then she had to call her mother or something. Her mother came up there.
So after she swung, and basically they stopped each other because she swung and he basically stopped her from swinging. Then she said, I'm calling my mom. Yeah. And she called her mom and said, I need you to come up to Clifton right now. This man will put his hands on me. Yeah.
Oh.
But not telling the whole situation, just the part that
to make her look okay.
Exactly.
Right. And I mean, look, now her mom about to come up there because as a mother like us, we're gonna come up there like, why you touch? Why you? What's going on? Why you talking to my daughter? Why you touch my daughter? What anything? And then not even that, like you're gonna get in trouble just because you came up there. I know you had to come through and save your daughter, but what if you had to do something to the man for no reason because you done got upset because your daughter done told you a story that really she didn't tell the whole story, and now she done got you in some mess. Right. Now who gonna bail you out? Just you can't do that these days. Sometimes you have to listen to both sides and pick and choose. Your children are not always right. I know we want our kids to be perfect and be out here like, you know, they know better, but some of these kids does not. Outside doors, and you're not there with them, they are doing unnecessary things that they shouldn't be doing. Because they're following other people, you know, and they want to be cool, they want to fit in, you know what I mean?
Right. They don't want to go against their friends for whatever reason. Yeah.
And you don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You have to raise them right.
Right. And you always want to be right. You can't always be right. Sometimes we have to apologize for our actions because sometimes we don't make sense. Not even that. Even adults. You know what I mean? We always have to humble ourselves. Absolutely. If you do not humble yourself, you going to get what you're looking for. And you cannot say nothing because you have done that person like that. You know what I mean? So you have to, like, when she get older, she gonna realize what she did, and she probably want to go find that man and apologize. Like, I know I shouldn't have did that because I got a grandpa. And if a young lady did, that too, I would be upset. I'd be ready to fight. Right. You know, so we have to look as parents. We do have to look at our children like they're not perfect. And they're not going to be perfect. We all going to make mistakes. We all have to learn from them. And as they grow and they learn from them lessons, they should know not to go back to them.
Right. You know, my son, you know, we struggle in school. We do this and this. We, you know, have different issues with grades and things and getting things done. But I have never had a complaint of someone coming to me and saying my son was rude or inappropriate. Like one time when he was on the bus, I will say this. He was about 8 or 9. He was reading on the bus, and some kid was talking to him, and he was trying to read his book. And the kid grabbed his book out of his hand, and my son just choked him. He's like, "Don't touch my stuff." I was like, "Good for you." I wasn't mad. I was like, "Good for you." Thank God my mom was his bus driver, so he didn't get in trouble. Yeah.
But and I mean, we got to think about these teachers out here who we drop our kids off to, you know, for them to watch your child or whatever, teach your child or whatever. You have to learn how to listen to both sides because it can get very weary at these schools sometimes. You know,
well, I was a substitute teacher. I know how rowdy it can get. I was a substitute teacher at Winton Woods, Mount Healthy, and Northwest.
So, and please keep these armors, these guns and stuff away from y'all children. Don't even let them know you got it. Because some of them, they be so hyped to go get it because they know you got it. And when they ready to go retaliate against somebody, they have that choice too. Because it's right there in front of them in their face.
Well, I took my son to the gun range because he playing all these first-person shooter games, and he learned a lesson when he pulled the gun. And we were at the range, being very safe. And he's like, "Oh, he asked for the smaller gun because it was too much for him." And we keep everything in safes, everything's locked up. But I want him to know if he comes across one, how to disarm it or how to put it away so nobody gets hurt.
And they teach classes like that. Well, I took my class at. The man had he teach children how to be safe out here, not pick up a gun and shoot somebody. He's gonna teach them like it's different ways that you can keep yourself safe too. Yeah. But this world's so crazy right now. Ain't no telling what anybody would do right now. Don't nobody fight anymore.
Out there and they do all these things.
Yeah, they ready to pick up a gun and ready to blow your brains out.
For $20.
Just for saying like, "What's up?" You know what I mean? You could say "What's up."
Walk
somebody can get mad. Say the wrong word. They ready to go crazy just because they feel like they can, because they got it. You know what I mean? And we be so careless with our guns and stuff like that. And we just be so hyped to pull it just because we know we got it, and somebody just just pissed off, or we just don't like that person, or we about to retaliate because you done did something. You know, so people be having flashbacks.
Yeah.
And they
PTSD.
really out here to retaliate against a lot of people, especially if you have did some home invasions and you have robbed somebody, you done pull up on somebody and you done did something.
You gonna pull up at the wrong spot one time.
I have been done like that. Somebody came in my house, you feel me, and tied me up, and you come in my house and you ask me where is that, and I'm looking at you like you came in my house. You tell me where is that? What are you talking about? You know, they tied me up. That's what you're gonna do because I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that why you're so kinky?
Yeah. I'm playing. Like I have learned a lot of lessons. I have learned life. You know, I have tried, I have did a lot of things that was positive that won't make me look like I am that kind of person, and I'm not. You know, I can joke around, I can be serious. And like I said the other day, I have like 10 personalities. So you never know what might come out. You know what I mean? And everybody has those. Everybody has different personalities, especially when you're trying to deal with a different type of person.
Right.
You know, so you do have different type of
We have the mask you wear around different people. Yeah. You know, I actually have this thing I call my rainbow people, right? Mm-hmm. So I have a different there's like red is like professional. You don't go beyond like being professional, being at work. Mm-hmm. Then red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So as you go down the line, my purple people see me naked in all sorts of twisted positions. So that's how I had a friend, Andrea, when we were talking, when I meet, and she introduced her new people, she'd say, what color are they? What do they know about me and my life and what I've done and who I am and how I roll? And so that's kind of how we know what we can talk about in front of certain people. Yeah. So
I feel like that.
Some people you can't.
Don't be closed up. You just a ball of explosion, I say, because if you don't talk about it, no matter what anybody thinks, so what? Because they probably did worse than you did, and if they did not, believe me, they have. They just ain't saying nothing. Yeah, you know, it's for you to be true to yourself.
Everybody's got some skeletons they can dust off in their closet.
Yeah, definitely. But if it ain't none of your business, it ain't none of your business. I can't say that because if I don't want to say something that I don't want you to know, it's none of your business. And for you to find out, it's going to be very difficult because I don't write nothing down of my personal life.
He's going to give you a few drinks.
Nah, I won't even say nothing because I still know what I'm doing. And that's one thing, too. When you out in the club and you're drinking,
make sure you watch your stuff.
Man, watch yourself. Like, it's okay to be tipsy. Don't get upset because somebody probably like, we have to, if we can't drink to control ourselves, don't drink. Drink casually, drink just a little bit.
I'm allergic.
And just be done with it because it don't make sense for you to get out here and you just busted everybody's night because you mad and you done did something. If you have a problem with somebody, can we talk it out? Can we just like, we just gonna get along and just, we gonna cut it. Like, that's it. Okay, bruh? Right. Okay, sis? Like, it ain't even that serious. You know what I mean? Now you want to make a scene. I'd rather have me a camera when I go out because I can get a lot of sight and things. Definitely. Yeah. It's like, what is that? What's that show that they be having people on there? No, World Star. Is that World Star? I love World Star. World Star has some exciting things on there too.
I don't think I've heard of that.
World Star? Yeah. Look it up. Look it up. World Stars, they be popping. They be saying, they be having all kind of stuff. Just what we talking about, they show a lot of things on there. You can pick and choose what you want to watch.
All the hood news you could ever want.
Definitely that.
Okay, so I have some other things I want to talk about today.
Yeah.
So if we're ready to move on.
Sure, whatever you want to do.
All right, so I just got into comedy last May. I've been off for about 4 months due to some personal reasons. Going back tomorrow, actually. Going up to Carmichael's in Dayton. They have an open mic night. And I'm just curious what your thoughts are about comedy. What do you think comedians should be and should not be allowed to do? Should they push the boundaries to open up conversation, or should they play it safe?
So I say, is it comedy or is it roast? because it could be a roast and it could be comedy too together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And some people, if you can't take the comedy and you can't be like just joked on, and they don't know you, they just making a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And for
Right.
you to get mad, it just don't make sense. It's comedy.
Oh, I err on the side of fucking people up. Like I don't pull punches. I'm like, get offended, because guess what? Get me
comedy is comedy. If you're making a joke out of it, it's comedy. You're not like picking and choosing like who you gonna tell the whole life story. The whole thing
is, as long as it's done in a way that like if something's offensive to somebody, everyone, a joke is offensive.
If you know somebody now, that's totally different. Because now you're getting in a personal life,
right? And
you're talking about something that you shouldn't be talking about without asking them and having them prepared.
I'm more talking about like just topics and controversial things. I think that it's very important to push those boundaries because it gets people talking. It gets people understanding because
like Dave Chappelle,
yeah, exactly. You get these people.
He got a whole lot of stuff.
Absolutely, and that's what I appreciate because.
But he being real though.
Exactly, it's real, and because I'm getting into comedy, and I've said some things that people. I was at Go Bananas one night doing open mic, and I had I was the third person to go. They put all the females first. I was the last of the females to go, and then all the men went. And I had a set, I sat down on my stool. I won't give too much of it away, but I brought up Bill Cosby in my set. And at the end of it, like people, like, mostly women were like, oh, at the end, like, we're not appreciating the things I said. But from that, the men that went right after me, like I think at least 3 or 4 of the 10 men that went after me, I referred to my set and got jokes out of it.
Right.
Like, and it's weird because I'm in this place where I'm a female saying these things, and I don't think people like that I'm a female saying these things.
Right. But
if I was a man saying these things, they'd be like, "Oh, that's funny." So I'm fighting that angle of the.
So I feel like just because women, because none of us are perfect. Like we need to stop. Like none of us are perfect. And sometimes when you say things, they be looking at themselves like, "Oh my God, she talking about me." Like I done did that before. You know what I mean? That's just like if you were in church and you be like the preacher up there talking about something, and you was just thinking about it at that moment. And he just said it. You just like, "Oh my God, like how did that happen?" That's how it is.
Well, I just know that people need to loosen up their pussies a little bit. They're a little tight.
I mean, definitely. Like, we just so stuck up on ourselves that, just like I said, if you can't handle it, please don't go.
Like, I genuinely
don't go.
Bill Cosby is genuinely my favorite comedian. Genuinely, that will never change.
He's everybody's favorite.
People try to.
I can't even believe he did.
He did. Don't worry about it.
Like I really, because I used to love him, Tootie, and all them, and I grew up on them, so I stay out of that kind of stuff because some women can be greedy, and they feel like you got it, and they going after the person that got it. That makes sense about their life, that they about to, get on and have something in life.
They were white women. It was the 60s.
Definitely, it was gonna be that.
It was white women. They were the 60s. Nobody would have not believed them. So I'm sorry. I call bullshit.
No,
I call bullshit.
But they did.
I call bullshit on that. So
everybody,
they just didn't do what they wanted out of somebody, so they talk shit.
Right. I don't even understand how it happened.
and that's where that's where my comedy stems, like sitting on that edge where people ain't gonna like to hear this.
Yeah, just tell them to loosen up. Say loosen up.
Oh, I have.
Say everybody stand up in your chair properly.
Like
I want you to loosen up. Yeah, let's get a stretch real quick. Yeah,
get it out.
Like, we about to let it all out. Girl. And my name is Amber Nicole. Here we go.
H. Strap in, strap on, because here we go.
Right. There we go. It is what it is. If you can't handle it, do not go.
Absolutely.
It's a joke. It's something like. Is something to say because some of us have done it. Definitely.
People can't handle a joke, but they can take a dick.
Yeah. So roast and comedy is together these days.
I love it. Like I am. Believe me, I am the first person I'll sit up front hoping to get picked on.
Right.
Like I love that shit. That's
all about action.
Then again, I like the attention. We talked about that last week. So
I love jokes. I tell jokes all the time, and you probably don't even know it.
Well, you make me laugh all the time.
All the time.
But you should come out and see me. So come
I'm
watch
sure
me.
I definitely will. Definitely will.
We'll put it on and share it with everybody.
Okay, cool.
So, like I said, it's been 4 months.
Definitely.
4 months since I've been out there doing it because I had some legal issues. But yeah, I'm finally able to go back out and do it. I'm so excited. So excited.
We're gonna go up there and kill it. Definitely. And so where it's gonna be?
It's at Carmichael's in Dayton.
Okay.
I don't know the address, but it's a like a little pub.
Okay.
So it's I think it's on Wayne Street. I think that's the name of the street.
Carmichael's Pub in Dayton, Ohio, 3011 Wayne Avenue.
3011.
420.
There it is. Thank you, Ace.
There we go.
Ace is on the case.
Yes, that's why we got you, see, for real. Like,
so, but yeah, and they do open mics, and people can sign up 8 o'clock until 8:30. I think signups are, and you get a spot, and you go up there and try your thing. It's only 5 minutes you get, but it's so invigorating to have the microphone and just be able to speak your mind and
really, just express yourself. Express yourself. Express yourself.
People try. All right. Well, I think we're gonna have to go on a break right now, but we'll be back just a few moments. See you soon.